first good weather of 2021. It's 60 degrees. I could actually film outside. There are like kids playing the playground across from our house and guys playing basketball. And here I am repotting my HOYA KERRII. So I am just repotting this because I think I've mentioned in one of my videos that I do plan to repot it, but also because it's been falling so many times, it needs new soil. So I'm just gonna go quickly give it some fresh soil and make sure it's stable and stop moving around. So I'm giving it a mix that is a lot of perlite, a little bit of bark, but mostly perlite and potting soil. Very quick and easy. Okay. This is the variegated KENTIANA that I've got, and I am about to repot it. It did have a good root system, but since I was traveling from Chicago to Maryland, I thought it would be a good idea to take it out of the soil so that I could just transport it easily. And now that I'm back home, I am going to repot this now. But since there's this one that has empty leaves, I'm going to cut that and propagate that separately, just so I have insurance just in case something happens to this main one, because it has been falling leaves. It has fallen like a couple of leaves now, and I'm not really sure why. So I am going to be propagating it along with this. I don't think it is going to be difficult. So I am just going to pot it together like that and see what happens with it. And I'm using my propagation mix, which is a cocoa coir, sphagnum moss, and vermiculite mix. And I'm using this teeny tiny pot just because the root system is very tiny and Hoyas don't like getting overwatered or oversaturated. So in this pot, it will definitely not stay overwatered. And just putting a little bit at the bottom, and I'm just wrapping the root system very gently, not overly packing it, just doing it like that. And actually I'm gonna try this one, and I'm gonna separate that first, and then I put it on the pot gently, and then with a little bit of space I have in there, I'm going to take this one and put it in there. I'm not watering this because the propagation mix is already wet, and this came from a water propagation. So that's it. That's pretty much it. I'll keep you updated and see how well it does. I'm switching pots between these two because I really need this to dry out, and I already had like several of the white leaves over here fall off because I think this is too wet, and it's been wet for quite a bit. But the thing is though, I didn't water this when I was in Chicago or when I came back, so I'm going to try to put it here instead, and I think this one needs a bigger pot anyways. So this one is going to be tricky to get out. It's been in this spot for quite a while now, but it should be okay. Yeah, the root system is not that bad, but for this one, for it to fit in here, I have to remove some of the soil. And yep, I think that works. Just put a little bit at the bottom, and that's pretty much it. And I'm just going to put some more soil on the side just to make sure that it's getting yeah. Yep, and there it is. And for this one, I am trying to give it I guess it could be in this spot. It's just not, the root system is not as big as I thought it would be, and this might be too big for it. So trying to find something a little bit smaller. All right, so when a pot is too big, this is what I do. I fill up the pot with light, so that way, and when I water it, the water just flows through and it's not gonna get overwatered. So yeah, that works. And then I will just refill the sides with soil. So yeah, so that's one way you can do it, so that your plants that are in larger pots don't get overwatered. Just put some leca or stones at the bottom if you don't have leca, and that would prevent them from getting overwatered in a large pot. So there you go. This is my regular Hoya carnosa compacta, and this is the variegated Hoya compacta. What I'm going to do next is repot all of this into that pot at that base. So I did that with my Monstera deliciosa with my POTHOS cuttings, and this one would just help me save space instead of like getting rid of these plants. I can keep them, but I just have to repot them with my Ruby Ficus elastica. So first one is my emerald POTHOS. I'm just gonna take it out of the pot, pop it on there. And next is the Brazil that I thought that was a cream splash. Also putting it over here. I might actually also layer it like that. And then my Marian POTHOS. This one is also getting big, so it does need to be repotted, but instead of repotting it, I'm just transplanting it over here. And I think I might actually divide it. No need to divide it. And yeah, so I'm not potting any back here because this will be facing the wall and it's not gonna get much light, so I am just going to repot it like this. But ooh, look over here, I have another bud going on, so it is going to branch out like this one over here has started to do. So I'm really excited about that. I'm combining the ZZ Raven just because saving space. That's the idea of all of this, is to save space. So that's why I'm combining the ZZ Raven. Alright. Alright. Okay. I got more soil. Here's another one potted up. Alright, last one to be repotted. But this one is really just a transplanting. Put some moss at the bottom. Take out the ones at the bottom. Today we are repotting my SCINDAPSUS PICTUS ARGYREUS. This one has been trailing really long. Let me see if I could get into frame so you can see how long it is. There you go. That's how long it's been. And I am going to repot it because it has a lot of yellowing and a lot of empty nodes. So I'm just going to check what's going on. I think this soil just needs aeration because it's too compact. We will see. All right, let's go ahead and repot this. Yep, as you can see, it is very root bound, so we have to do something about that. Since I am repotting it in the same pot, I am going to be trimming all the excess roots. The plant would be generally fine. They can do a little bit of root trimming, but we will see. Just be careful when you do this, because it could cause the plant to have shock transplant, or just shock in general. So just be careful when you're doing this, but in general, plants do okay when you trim the roots. But I guess we will see with this one, won't we? like this one. A long trail for no reason at all. Let's see what we're gonna do with that one. Okay, so I've untangled pretty much a lot. So I've untangled a lot of it already, and then I did take out some of the plants or cuttings in it. I'm just gonna repot it with my other propagations, just so it's not competing with the other plants. Yeah, so like this one that I could easily take out. Oops, sorry about that one. Alright, so we are potting this up on its original pot. It should have a lot more space to breathe now, since I took out a lot of the plants and trimmed the roots. But what we're going to do is fresh soil-ish. Alright. Still trim. So I'm gonna do that, and with the Okay. Sorry TikTok, you're a little bit late to the game, but this is me repotting / maybe propagating my Thai constellation Monstera. Right now I'm just teasing out the roots. So honestly, if I'm just repotting this, I don't have to do this. But since I am repotting this, I want to make sure that I got the roots off so that when I cut it off, it's easy to separate the two. Or whatever, how many ever, or how to say it? Or how much, or how many ever cuttings I'm making. I don't know if that makes sense. Alright. Try not to lose as much roots as possible, but sometimes you can't help it. But you do have to be gentle and patient with this. So. So the best place that I could see to make a cutting is over here, but I might end up losing this leaf because it won't have a node or an aerial root underneath it after I cut it. So and if I try to cut above that, then I might lose this leaf, and I'd rather lose this leaf than the other one. So, okay, let's get a knife and try to cut this up. Here's the knife, and I'm making the cutting. I think, hold on, let me study this. So if I cut down here, I could possibly oh, that cut off way too easily. Oh, that was scary. So that is the cutting. I did manage to get an aerial root underneath this smaller leaf, but and this is for this too, and this is the one with the big root ball. So let me put that aside over here first. And this one doesn't have that much root growth, so I am thinking of, I want to cut this off, this smaller one, but the thing is this doesn't have much root growth, the other two. So I think I'm just gonna pot them all together. I would love to take this one out for another cutting, but it's a bit too close. So it's just going to be included. Alright. So I have one cutting and another cutting. So which one gets the big pot or the nice spot? I do have other pots, but and for the meantime, I do have a cash flow for this, so it's okay if, como se dice, if it's in this plastic pot, because I do have a cash flow, a nicer cash flow for me to put it in. And I have the garden tape this time. So that is that one. And like I said, I do have a nice cash bowl to put it in, so that's okay if it's in an ugly plastic pot. This is the one that essentially going to stay with me. I'm gonna put it in a nicer pot. So let's trim off some dead roots. I don't know if they're actually dead or just dried out because I haven't watered this in a while, but either way. So we are just putting all the nice roots in and try to push it forward as best as we can. So see, and I want to do it like that. Yeah, like that. So it's lying down a little bit. Okay. I should probably just have done a TikTok live for this one, but whatever. The joys of being left-handed. And I don't know if I should put the stake now since it has no growth yet. Probably not, but that's the stake that's gonna go essentially like that. And then after it starts to grow, I don't know, maybe I should put it now. It doesn't make sense. I'll save it for later. But essentially that's what it would look like once I put the stake. So, and it looks like two little leaves. You have such a big pot. It doesn't make sense if you just look at the leaves, but you see how big the root ball is. You go by the root ball size when choosing a pot size, not the size of the foliage. That's why when someone commented previously, oh, I think your Monstera needs repotting, it doesn't really need repotting if the root ball is just, if the pot size is just the right size for the root ball. So